The boat's engine. Well, of course, it varied from the beginning. We would probably have an engine of about 800 horsepower, steam engine, in the early trawlers. But my last ship was 4,800 horsepower, a big diesel engine, but a much bigger ship, of course. Trip to Iceland, probably, in the days of coal, about 240 tons. Oil, probably something similar, maybe 180 tons. Or maybe that was diesel. Heavy oil for the oil burners in the early days was probably about 250 tons again, but the engineers would tell you this. And certainly the diesel ships, diesel trawlers, like the Corsair, for instance, about 180 tons. But you usually had oil left when you came back with that amount. Why did boys of 16 years of age all go to sea at that time? And the reason for that was we had an environment. We lived on Hessel Road. 70% of the fishermen, I would imagine, that went to sea at that time came from Hessel Road. And it was a community. And so brothers followed other brothers, etc. And families. There were whole families of fishermen, one after the other, that went on to sea. And then you said about the job. Well, the job, ooh, where do we start? It's a whole lecture to tell you about the job. But I mean, basically, you went to sea. You steamed off for 4 or 5 days up to the fishing ground. You fished for about 10 to 12 days, and then steamed back home. The work going to and from the fishing grounds wasn't particularly hard, and you got more sleep. But on the grounds, the work was very hard. Hauling and shooting, gutting the fish, mending the nets, and all cracking ice off the rigging, all the things that went with trawlers in those areas.